And fam, what is up? Today I have a number 3, yes, third eye tutorial using the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 palette. And guess what? At the end, we are going to compare this baby to Natasha Denona Love. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. All right, so this eye already done. Super simple, you guys. You know the deal, keeping it simple. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime really quickly. Urban Decay Primer, Potion, and Caffeine. If you don't need to prime your eye, don't prime your eye. I have super oily eyelids. I say that quite often. Don't feel like you have to use a primer. If you're someone who doesn't have any issues with your eyeshadow sticking, you can use a concealer, then go for it. But for me, I just have really oily eyelids, so that's why I use it. Okay, so the first shade we're gonna go in with here, this beautiful pink tone, and it's going all over the lid using my Wayne Goss number 18 brush. You guys, these brushes. All right, so I'm just gonna start by pushing this color all over the lid, in the center, in the inner, and notice I am just pressing it. I'm not doing any sweeping motions yet. I'm just really focusing on laying the shade down on my lid. All right, now I'm gonna start going up into my crease. And I'm just gonna flick it out on the outside as well. All right, next up, just to get a little bit tighter in, taking a Wayne Goss number 17. Same shade here, just really making sure I'm getting that shade nice and packed into the outer corner here. All right, now we're gonna take this matte pinky tone here with, whoop, switch brushes, just kidding. Gonna use a Wayne Goss number 16 for this. And I'm just going to slightly go over just to help blend. Like, I'm not going directly in my crease, but just right on the outside edges, just to help blend that shimmer down. Pretty. Now taking a, what is this? A Morphe M213. And I'm going to grab this shade right here on the outside. Beautiful shade. I'm just gonna put this in the inner corner. And I love the reflex in this one. Like, this is a really cool palette. If you're into just those glitzy duochrome, multi-chrome, chrome shadows, I don't know exactly what Pat calls them, but y'all know what I mean. This is the bomb. All right, now going in with this matte purple down here. And this is going to be our liner for the bottom. We're not doing any liner on the top today. So I'm just gonna start here, and this shade is so smooth, and it's really dark. It's a beautiful dark purple. I'm just gonna connect it. And going back in with that inner tear corner, just to blend. All right, now I believe we've used every shade in this palette now. I believe so, okay. Taking this yellowish gold tone here, just a little. I'm just gonna ever so slightly tap that in the center, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take a Wayne Goss number, what is this, 19? Just a tapered brush, taking that same shade we just put on the center, and now I'm gonna line that, starting in the center and going a little bit towards the outer on the waterline. And it's just gonna add a little sparkle to the eye. You guys can see on this one. And then last but not least, mascara. Okay, you guys, so this is our finished eye look. I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup, and then we will talk about how this compares to the Natasha Denona Love Palette. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. Are these the same? Are they different? So obviously, when you look at this color story, they are in the same family. So basically, oh, I can't hold it. Okay, so basically what I mean when I say same family, when you look at it, what do you see? You see purples, you see pinks, you see mauves. So right away, okay, if you are someone who is not into purples, pinks, or mauves, neither of these is for you. I don't ever recommend buying a shadow palette where you know it doesn't speak to your heart, you know those aren't your colors, or you know you will not pick up this palette at least once a week. There's no point in you buying it because it's just going to be a waste of money. It's going to sit there and it's going to collect dust. So if these color stories don't speak to you right away, it's just not your thing, and that's okay. Let me check to make sure Love is still available, because I know it's limited. Yeah, okay, still available. All right, cool, because that would have been a hot mess if I just sat here, filmed this whole video, and it wasn't even available. Okay, so color story. Secondly, I feel like Natasha Denona Love Palette pulls a little bit more cooler in tone than Divine Rose 2. I feel like Divine Rose 2 has way more warmth in it. I can pull more warmer looks versus the Natasha Denona Love Palette. Number 3, Natasha Denona Love has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mattes in it. Pat McGrath only has 2. All right, so we all know that I am a huge Natasha Denona lover. I love her eyeshadow palettes. I love her brand as a whole. I am just now really thoroughly getting into Pat McGrath. And so now that I've been playing with Pat McGrath's palettes and I really have an understanding of it, Pat McGrath, she has more of a glitz, a sheen, that whole vibe going on. So I stated in one of my videos when I was doing my other tutorial that I feel like this wouldn't necessarily appeal to more so the mature demographic, and the reason why I focus a lot on that is just simply because that's my clientele. Okay, my clientele is typically women 35 and up. The majority of my women are 40 and up. So when I'm doing makeup and when I'm buying products, that's who I have in mind, because those are the people that I'm serving. Most women, mature women, just don't care to wear anything that has too much glitz, you know what I mean? A little satin shimmer here and there is okay, but definitely Pat McGrath, she hits you with more sheen, more glitzy, more bam. And I feel like Natasha Denona, she has some of that, but it's just not as intense as far as the Divine Rose palette goes, or for Pat McGrath's eyeshadows in general. So that is something else to consider as well. It's going to be a matter of preference and what you like. Both of these brands are top-notch brands. I recommend, if you do want to, you know, go over to the luxury side of eyeshadow and you want to try them, highly recommend you try them to see if you like them. So they're both A1. Supreme, Luxe, beautiful brands. However, it's going to boil down to a matter of preference. You guys have heard me say this a lot. I think I tend to pull more towards Natasha Denona just simply because I am not someone who wears glitzy shadows on my eyes on a regular basis. Like, I'm not someone that wears a lot of glitter on my eyes, if you guys have noticed. Now, I don't mind a little bit of a shimmer, you know, a little satin, but as far as, you know, like a lot of glitz and shine and bam, I don't do that on a regular basis. So let me give you a couple of swatches here. Let me see. Okay, so the mattes are bomb. So this is Pat McGrath's purple. I'm the worst swatcher in the world, so hold on. All right, so that's Pat McGrath on the top. Next, I'm going to swatch, try to find something comparable to it. This is Natasha Denona. This one is in the shade Trust. So you can see, I'm the worst swatcher ever. You can see, you guys, the mattes are very, very creamy. These are just a difference in tone, and we all know that purples are kind of tricky to make in general. Next up, let's do Pure Love. This is in Natasha Denona. So that's pretty. And then we will swatch it up against that glitzy shade, the one that's like turns all the different colors. So this one is Pat McGrath, and then this one is Natasha Denona. So again, palettes are very, very similar. If you are someone who needs a lot of mattes, you like a lot of mattes, you don't want this palette because there's only two. If you're someone who maybe likes a lot of glitch, you like a lot of shimmer, don't care about mattes, go with this one. If you're someone who you want your mattes because that is just the basis and the foundation of your eyeshadow, and you still like the purpley mauvey tones, I would go with Natasha Denona Love Palette. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up the tutorial and a quick little comparison using these two. Natasha Denona, this palette here is $65. It's a smaller palette and you do get more shades. Gotta point that out. And the standard Mothership palette here, and this one is $125. All right, guys, so I hope that was helpful. If maybe you were thinking of purchasing one of these, shout out to, let me make sure I got the right person. Hold on. I'm trying to find, I feel like it was Jamila that recommended that I did this comparison, because I want to give props to whoever gave that recommendation because it was a great idea. I can't find the comment. Jamila, if it was you, shout out to you. If it wasn't you, still shout out to you, Jamila, because you always watch my videos and you leave me sweet comments. And whoever left me the recommendation, please make sure you leave it in the comments so that I can pin your comment. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so you know the deal. Keep it simple, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.